I don't know. All right, everyone. So welcome to Suited Up. My name's Chris. I'm your host. And what is on the program today? I'll tell you what's on the program. Today on the program, you're going to be shocked. We're interviewing people. I know, it's unbelievable. We are interviewing people today on the show in a surprise twist. 3 of them. Not 1, not 2, less than 4. 3 whole interviews today. I'm Suited Up. Who are we talking to? Who are the 3 people that we will be talking with? Well, the first person, her name is Namaste Hi. Her name is Namaste Hi. The second person we'll be interviewing, her name is Role Model Fresh. And the third person we'll be talking with is Lady Lark. It's ladies' night, including myself. I put on my best wig and everything for you. Yeah. So welcome to Ladies' Night. So by a coincidence, it was an accident. I'm Suited Up, everyone. What else is happening, though? Well, the rundown happened the other day. And there were some announcements on it. The Celebrate Together contest ran over the weekend, and there were some winners. We're going to go ahead and talk about that. We're going to go ahead and talk about those winners coming up here soon on Friday. Not now, though. No. That's what the Friday show is about. New gifts came out last week. You may have seen the batch of holiday gifts that have happened, but the talk is still all about that dragon gift. I heard there's a rumor that some guy got the dragon on the dragon wheel and he didn't say anything. He didn't even give a thank you. He just let it happen. And that was it. He just let it happen. I can't believe it. I don't think anyone would not react to that. But if they did do that, they'd be a legend. Or something. Whatever. Alright, other updates. I posted something on my Instagram story. I'm trying to get creative, think about new ways to not do the same thing for the past 2 years. And this past week, I got a pair of shoes in the mail, and I posed the question, what animal are these shoes based off of? What animal or animals do you think that these shoes are based off of? Now, if you want to know, I'm not going to tell you now. I'm going to tell you at the end of the show. Also, I just wanted to show you my shoes because I like them. Deal with it. It's my show. Okay, let's go ahead and get going, everybody. My name's Chris. Welcome to Suited Up. We do this every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Our first guest, Namaste Hi, is requesting the box right now. I know, I can feel with my psychic powers that she's reaching for that press button, and she's saying, I'm going to join that box, Chris. No puns. It's not a Friday. But big congratulations to 2 other people, by the way. New shows this week. 2 of them, for whatever reason, were scheduled to debut on the exact same day at the exact same time because the guy behind it, he had to have been a genius. There must have been some sort of strategic strategy behind putting the 2 new shows on Wednesday, both at the exact same time at 10 p.m. Congratulations to Oregon Star Girl and Nick Style. Oregon Star Girls back in the game. It's a dating show. It's all about getting back on the horse. Because you know, at every age, love is important, but we find it at different times. And Oregon Star Girl knows about it because she's returned back to the dating scene. So make sure that you join Oregon Star Girl after this. If you're looking to get back on the horse, if you're looking to start talking about dating and you want that dating content, go ahead and check that out. But if you're more of a music person, or you like gentlemen with nice fluffy hair, very fluffy hair, Nick Style has got your hit history. He's going to bring to you a decade in music. I saw Kay Smiles in here. I believe she was on the show. She crushed it on that show. He brings in a guest every week, and they cover a decade in music. They talk about some of the hits that were on the Billboard, and they perform them. So if you're into music, you want to see some of that type of action, go ahead and check out Nick Styles' Hit History at 10 p.m. tonight. And don't forget, you've also got Blair Woods. There's a ton of great content. On here, everybody. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in. Our first guest tonight, well, there's a funny story behind it, and we're going to go ahead and talk about it. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome our first guest this evening, the one, the only, Miss Namaste Hi.
Hi.
Hey there.
Hi.
Let me get some volume because I'm a rookie. There we go. Namaste. It's good to see you again.
Go ahead.
Fun fact, everyone. I got a
What a
text.
great story to start off with.
Let's just start it because I'm a host with integrity. It takes a lot when you put this tie on. It comes with a certain mantra. It has some qualifications. And if you're gonna put the suit on, you gotta be a person of integrity. I got a text today from Namaste, and it said, "So hey, for the show today, should we do it just like last time?" And I said, "What do you mean like last time?" She said, "Well, the first time I did your show, should we do it just like last time?" And I said, "That's right. You have been on the show, haven't you?" Namaste, when was that?
Like 3 months ago.
Wow, that's like an eternity, literally.
We need a refresher. There's so much that's gone on.
Well, aside from the fact that I've only ever booked the same person twice in like 2 years of doing this, this is pretty special.
Awesome.
Do you know why?
I feel it.
Do you know why it's special?
Why?
Because I can't ask you the same questions, and now I've got to think on the fly.
You do. You have to. We'll really see how good of a host you are.
You're gonna put me to the test to see can I actually interview, and I have you up first. I don't even have time to think about this.
Yeah, I know. Come on.
Okay. Well, because I'm an expert recaller of information, and I also asked you, I said, "Quick, tell me what's something interesting about yourself that I can talk about." And there was a lot of things that I found that we can talk about.
Let's do it.
You're a traveler. You're a world traveler. Obviously, you're a streamer. You've been on the show before. You've been doing this at least 3 minutes, 3 months, 3 minutes in the box now. But we didn't get to really get into too far of depth with this the first time. Where have you traveled in some of your world travels?
Okay, so I've been to Nicaragua. I have landed in San Juan del Sur. I just love Nicaragua. I think it's absolutely beautiful. Africa. I always go to Africa on missionary trips. And I would say, well, I've been to Ecuador. I lived with, oh my gosh, thank you. I lived with an indigenous tribe for 3 months. That was really fun. That was really different, but you've learned so much. I think that was probably my favorite. I would like to do so much more of that.
How long ago did you stay with an indigenous tribe?
3 months.
It was for 3 months, and how long ago was that?
2 years ago.
2 years ago, okay. And was that just on a whim? You said, you know what sounds fun? Let's pack up my bags and just see what this is like.
No. So what was really odd about it is I was meditating, and at one point of meditation for me, when you hit like a certain frequency, I would say, you just saw like swarms of color just go in front. And then it like opened up, which it was my very first like thing that I ever like experienced with meditation. And I saw like a rickety classroom, and I'm a teacher, so I teach kindergarten, but I saw like a rickety classroom with like dingy chairs, and just like it looked like outside, like something that would be outside. And I was like, whoa, that's so weird, but everything looked HD. It felt like such a real experience. Well, then I was like, all right, I need to book a trip. I think I want to go like back to Africa. I wasn't sure. Oh my gosh, thanks guys. And the second I pulled up like trips or anything that I could go on, I saw the Quechua tribe in Ecuador. And it was like, if you're a teacher, then you can go and teach there, and then they'll teach you like their ways, but you have to like offer their children something. And when I looked at the classroom that I'd be teaching in, it was the same exact classroom as my like as like the vision in my meditation. And it was so crazy. So I went there. That was it. Signed up for that trip.
There's a whole lot here for me to hopefully explore and learn here, because you said during one of my meditations I had a vision and I saw this. I am inexperienced when it comes to meditation. So when you talk about meditation, how does one get into a state of not only reflection but then manifestation? Because that's a different level.
It's really hard especially for me, because I suffer from anxiety and OCD, not as in like everything has to be in order, but more like the compulsive thoughts. So to me, it's really hard to like shut up my mind to meditate. So I just gave up on it right away. I said, oh, that's just like fake. That's just noise. I'm going to go to church. I'll talk to you guys later. Like go meditate in the corner. And then I was like, okay, hold on, there's something different, because then I like found out about this stuff called binaural beats, which are different frequencies played in each ear with headphones, and it opens up like your pineal gland. It's a lot, Chris. But anyways, it allows you basically to like open up to like the spiritual world with your third eye. So when you meditate, you're just trying to get to like that point. And some people can astral project where they can like go somewhere. I can't do that. I don't know how to do that. But my thing is like I can see visions and things. But I'm not like psychic or anything.
I only know about this from what Joe Rogan has alleged.
Oh, his podcast. Yeah.
I've never heard it. I've seen the memes. You said, I thought all this was fake. I'm going to go see you at church. How long has this been a path that you've taken, and what was the catalyst? What started you down this path of, hey, I feel that this is the right fit for my lifestyle, or this makes the most sense to me?
Well, like in my last interview, we had talked about like the sexual abuse, the physical abuse that happened when I was a child growing up. And for me, I thought, I don't believe in this God by these people who were so evil. How could I believe anything they say? So I had to really, I preached, I like preached it. I did everything like that, but I knew I really didn't believe it, and I knew I needed to believe in something. So I had to disconnect and kind of do like a 180. I found like practicing Buddhism really like calmed me down, just like the teachings of Siddhartha Gautama. But I realized that a lot of what he said correlated with Christianity. So then I was like, oh, okay, I do believe that there's a God. Like, okay, to put me at a peace. And when I meditated, I felt like I was in a spiritual place. And that was like, ooh, like when I die, like I go somewhere. And like there is this place that's like nirvana. It just kind of did a 180 for me. So like for me, I feel like I have a really strong relationship with God, because I had to disconnect in order to like truly have like my heart there.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Well, I'm happy that in the conclusion of this story that you have found some peace, or that you feel that you're on a path that you're happy with, and that's really the highlight, I think, from that part of the conversation. How has this pandemic affected someone like you, who is a world traveler, believes in helping people on the forefront, being there, boots on the ground, helping? How has this affected you?
I'm looking at, okay, how can I make up for time lost? Because it's killing me. Like I didn't do my Africa trip this year. That kills me. But I understand what's going on. Like I'm just following the rules. And I'm just planning out, okay, I'm just using this time to just focus on me a little bit. And because I always focus on so many people, then I'm using this time to just kind of focus on me a little bit, and plan on what I'm going to do when we can travel and we can do stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay. On a lighter note, you have a bit of a funny side, I found out. You like to do prank calls.
Love them. They're so much fun.
You love prank calls. What has been one of the most memorable prank calls that you've been a part of?
Frozen Fox. We've called, was it the pizza place? It was probably the pizza place. We called it pizza place, and I was pretending to be a very oversized woman who just wants her pizza, but her daughter like is ruining it and didn't order it fast enough. And so she's yelling at her daughter at the same time and just like trying to rush this guy along. And this guy got like so overwhelmed, and it just like I'll do character voices. Like I'll be like, Stacy, where's my pineapple pizza? Like we go so into it. This guy didn't know what to do. We've called Walgreens and like we've called Walgreens and done like we've had like anal leakage for like an hour and we don't know what to do. And like it's so funny how professional these people are, but it's like there's no cracking. We don't joke. We don't do like prank calls on like people. Like it always has to be like a Domino's or something like that. We're not like pranking people's girlfriends or something. We all keep it like light and funny, but it's so much fun.
It's interesting to me that that's something that you like to do, because the other side of you is about empathy and how can I help someone, and then this other part of you is a deviant that's making people's work lives difficult. How do you justify it?
No, I know for a fact that the Walgreens guy, yeah, the Walgreens guy, I made his day. Like, you have to understand, you work at Walgreens every day and people are like, excuse me, where's my order? Like, I've been waiting all day, blah, 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 blah. It's the same stuff every day. And then somebody calls you about like anal leakage and they realize it's not anal leakage. They realize it's because like their husband wanted them to try something and maybe they just like need to like get off the phone right away, and the pharmaceutical guy is just just trying not to die of laughter, like, you know, he's gonna get off the phone, he's gonna go tell that story. So just kind of funny.
All right, I will leave it to you. I will leave it to you to carve out your justification. Neutral.
I'm the stream people go to when they're very bored and it's late at night.
Okay.
The late night show.
the late show. The late show. How have you grown as a streamer since our first conversation? Because the state of the world has put us all on streams more often. Do you feel like you've realized things as a streamer or grown in ways as a streamer in just the 3 months since the last time we talked?
Yeah, I've learned that like probably like just to not let people like get to you. Like I've learned like that a lot of people that come in, they say really nasty things sometimes, but like there's so many more people who are coming in with positive energy. So to just focus on that and to not focus on what people are saying, because they're always going to try and tear you down. Mm-hmm. So I just learned not to let people affect me. It's helped with my social anxiety, like not being able to talk in front of people. So that's really helped too. And it's made me have a lot of faith in society, honestly, because there's really a lot of cool people on here. Like people who aren't like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of cool people here.
Yeah.
And it's a nice getaway. And like I honestly miss when I don't go on my live and talk to my people.
Are you on every day? What's your live schedule like?
Yeah, well now I'm switching to full-time streaming next month, where I'll be on day and night. But usually it's every night at 9:30.
Like streaming as a career type move?
Oh yeah, 100%. I've already I just had to get everything in order. So I knew at like my 6-month mark, I would want to start. So because of COVID and everything, it's like brought me back 30 days, but now I'm good to go. So next month I'm super stoked.
Help me understand that. It seems like such a leap of faith that can happen, that can work. What makes you feel confident that streaming can not only be something that you do for fun, but something that can become a livelihood?
Oh, well, I love doing it. And so you meet a bunch of people. So for me, it's beneficial in more ways than just like making a living. But to me, it just makes a lot of sense. And especially like where the world's going to with technology and all that. But like, honestly, I would just like to go with it full time, because why wouldn't you like to do something you absolutely love with people who support you and kind of like take it into like different situations or different lives, or just have fun with it? I don't know. I have a lot of fun doing it and I enjoy people. And I, like I said, was in just a really bad place when I started Meet Me. So why not take something full time if you see that it's feasible?
I totally understand the part where you say, why not do something you love, something that's fun? There also are a lot of risks with something that you could say is like a commission-based role that fluctuates. I mean, it involves acquiring people, having people invest in you. Do you see this potentially being a risk?
No, I believe in having a plan B, a plan C. Mm-hmm. I believe in that, not putting all your eggs in one basket. But I also believe that any seed of doubt in your mind is a bomb. And so you just can't think that way. You just can't. If you want something, you have to manifest that and make it your reality. So I think like, how can I? Like, instead of like, I can't, I think like, how can I do this? And I think I've had a lot of people being like, yeah, go for it, go full time. And so I don't know, I'm just going for it. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, I all power to you. I don't know that there is a right or wrong answer. Just everything has to be done with calculation, right? What is the risk? And so it's an interesting thing. So as we start to wrap up our conversation, per tradition, last question always, is there something that is important to you that you'd like to highlight with the remaining time that we have, or something that you'd like to cover before we wrap up?
Dang, now you're putting me on the spot. That's so rude.
I found out you can sing. I'm not going to ask you to sing, but you sing.
Listen, yes, but the singing either happens if I'm at church or if like it's like 11 o'clock on my stream. You can come in. We'll just have a lot of fun. It's just fun.
So if people want to see you sing, they should favorite you head over to your stream.
There we go. Let's do it. Yeah. Other than that, everyone just be kind and stay being awesome. Yeah. Everyone's chilling here.
Well, we were able to do that pretty well, I think. You know, for having gone through the motions once.
I think we did good, Chris.
You revealed. You know, I might be slipping. Thank you so much.
I said that. I'm like, I think you're slipping.
Yeah, I read that. I was like, well, nope. I already put the picture up, and that means I'd have to create a new picture, and that's just too much work. So we're gonna stick to what we have posted. No, you're a fantastic guest, and you have an interesting life.
There you guys go. I'm on here because it was just too much work to take me off the banner.
It was.
Come on the Chris Casper Show.
You're here. We're here. We're having a good time. The thing though is you do have an interesting life story, and much of it was not covered in this conversation because we did talk about it last time, from some of the trauma that you'd gone through, how you went through a path of positive recovery, how it's influenced others, set you on a path of mission trips. I mean, I remember it all now that we had referenced it. Let's have it repeat in your stream so that people can rediscover it with you. Yeah.
Bet. Thanks for having me, Chris.
Thank you so much, Namaste. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not favorited Namaste Hi, make sure that you give her a favorite. She is awesome and truly has a huge heart. Thank you so much for being on the show today.
Bye.
Cheers. Thank you. All right, everybody. This second guest today, I got you. The second guest today is freshly picked. You could say she is freshly picked right off the tree. Are fresh fruit? Oh no, fresh is fruit good fresh? Like when you get bananas, you don't want fresh bananas, right? Like you have to let them sit out. This is a well-aged, fresh, good streamer, like the perfectly timed. Choff said he likes his bananas still green, and I didn't know that was a thing. I was like, people eat green bananas still? He's like, yeah, I eat my bananas green. I'm like, okay, well, I can never associate with you now, because now I know that you might hide people in your basement, because that's some scary stuff. Okay, so just a reference note, don't trust people who still eat green bananas. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Suited Up. My name's Chris. I'm your host. This is your weekly interview style show. We just got done with talking to Namaste Hi for the second time. I was going to make a joke about how it was so painful that I'd forgotten it, like childbirth. You know how people say like you forget how painful childbirth is because it's so bad. But I didn't want her to think that it was painful because it was a great first conversation. But now that I've said it, I put it out there. But that's not true. Anyway, Role Model Fresh, thank you so much for coming on the show. Let's see how this goes. For the one time, ladies and gentlemen, our second interview of the night, the one, the only, Miss Role Model Fresh.
Oh, what's up? Thank you everybody for pulling up.
Oh man, this chat's gonna go a little crazy, I think. There we go. Wow, that hat's super cool. That's like you're pulling out like the formal attire with the hat there. Role Model. I've got to say, the first time I actually talked with you was on the rundown announcing your top badge, and that feels like forever ago, but it really wasn't.
It was about going on 3 months ago?
Maybe. I mean, maybe, but that's an eternity in streaming time, honestly. Exactly. I mean, do you feel like you've been a top badge your entire life at this point?
Nah, not my entire. I wouldn't say my entire life.
She's like, I was born a top.
It was definitely a process, like everything in life.
Yeah, I mean, for you had broken into plus 40 million, higher than 40 million by the time you'd gotten your top badge, hadn't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just hit 40 million.
Yeah. How did you skyrocket so fast? Because people aspire. I mean, look at this poser of a streamer right here at 22 million diamonds, more than 2 years and going on 3 years in the game. How did you get to past 40 so fast?
Well, honestly, I could say it's by it's about building real relationships on here. You know what I'm saying? I believe the energy you put out there is the energy that you will get back. And so when you put positive energy out there and stuff like that, and you hustling, if you believe in yourself, listen, anything can happen. And that's definitely one of the things I did. I believed in myself. When I gifted with love, not with the intentions of receiving or getting anything back. You know what I'm saying? So when you show people real love, people acknowledge that, and the love comes right back to you.
You want to get to the sauce a little bit? Take it old school, suited up before, you know, we had the purple badge and all that. Let's talk about gifting politics. Why not? Because that's a hot button issue in the streaming community. You know, this quote unquote real love. How do you define gifting with real love?
You define gifting with real love. Honestly, you know, everyone defines it different. But how I define it is not through gifts. It's not definitely not through diamonds, but it's through the support of the people who come and view you. Like, whether they're just there in the comments running your hearts up, or they're there every day. There's some days I said in my stream where it's like, put a 1 in the comments, let me see who's there. And you have those consistent people. They might not be gifters, but there's those consistent people who are always there. You know what I'm saying? Who's always in your stream. You know what I'm saying? Whether you got diamonds, whether you're giving them diamonds or not, they're there.
Yeah, it's the people who also are able to stick with you through those high highs, but also those low lows. As a streamer, in the run to getting that top badge, did you experience a low, or did you experience one of those down ticks?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Definitely experienced some lows, but I'm a positive person. You know, I train my mind to be like very positive through anything, you know. So you know, there's a lot of positivity on this app, but there's also some negativity on this app too. So it's knowing how to surpass that negative stuff and all the drama. Once you get past that, one of the things I say to myself is that even when I got my top badge, I said the trolls come with the app. You know what I'm saying? So if you take it in a direction like that, it's like no matter who's trolling in your comments, no matter what's being said, you don't pay attention to that. You just focus on your goal, and that's it. And I think that's what made me different. I was just headstrong and focused on what I wanted to do, and I knew what I can bring to the table on this app, and I just stayed focused on that.
Yeah. Did you enter the platform as Role Model Fresh? Speaking of platform, you're a Plenty of Fish streamer, correct?
Yes.
Yes. So they call it the Pop King, right? We'll talk about that in a second. But was your initial name Role Model Fresh?
Yeah, it was always my name. It's been my name on Instagram, everywhere.
What's the origin of that? Because I'd imagine it didn't originally apply to, you know, role modeling live streaming. What would you say?
So I used to be called Manny Fresh, which Manny is my, you know, first name or whatever. But role model pretty much came in from me being an inspirational speaker to a lot of people, a lot of young kids, you know what I'm saying, who's like, you know, has been suffering like through poverty and stuff like that, and keeping them motivated. And I just always, from when I was young, I was just always an inspirational speaker. I believed in a sense, like, you know, I didn't like to see, like, you know, people getting picked on. So it's like, you know, I could remember from way back when I was in school, if someone was being bullied, I was the person always jumping in to, you know, to either stop the fight or just help the person, you know what I'm saying? And I pretty much kind of got my name through that, you know, like whenever there was something going on, it's like, oh, okay, role model could stop this from happening. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I know I inspired a lot of people, so a lot of people just kept calling me their role model. And I don't know, I just inherited the name. Like, people just stopped calling me Manny, and they just start calling me role model. So I was like Role Model Fresh, you know what I'm saying?
It's like you're that tough big sister, you know? They get on a playground, things go wrong, you call role models.
There you go. And it's not just about drama too. It's just, you know, everyday life problems and issues that people go through. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm always that, you know, when my friends want to get irate and go above, I'm always that, all right, let's take it a step back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, and that's definitely necessary, because these battles, these families on the platform, it can get intense. People get invested in it. I want to dial back though. You talked about when people are getting picked on. I have to imagine, or I want to guess that some of that may have even come from your own experience. Had you been picked on? Was there a reason, or were certain things tough?
I'm not gonna say I've been picked on because I haven't really been picked on unless it's by my brothers. You know, I grew up with just my father, 4 brothers. And that's why I was like, you know, a tomboy and everything. So yes, did I get picked on by them? Yeah, and that could have played a part of why, you know, in school I was always that person to be like, you know what, no, you're not gonna do this, or you know, to step in when I see someone in need of help. You know, so that could have definitely played a big part in that.
I love that. I love
You
that.
know,
And now here you are on the platform. You're on Plenty of Fish, and Plenty of Fish is known predominantly, you know, initially being a dating app. So had you downloaded Plenty of Fish with the intention of trying to date?
no. All right, funny story. You ready for this?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So originally, Plenty of Fish was downloaded on my phone about 4, maybe 5 years ago. Okay,
How did this
I always
get
had
here?
this app, and the reason why I had this app on my phone is because I had a friend of mine was trying to spy on his bisexual girlfriend. So what he did was he made this fake page with my name on it and everything, and he found her on it and began talking to her. And then he pretty much met up with her, and she realized it was him. They wound up with fish is going on. But honestly, I found this app through the pandemic, and I feel like with that, everything happens for a reason. You know what I'm saying? With the whole pandemic and stuff, I know it led a lot of people into depression and stuff. And I feel like I was spiraling down that hill because I had everything going for me. You know, I had my business. I just started my own clothing line, so I had that going. I'm a professional photographer, so a lot of my business is in photography. I owned a T-Mobile store as well. I was about to buy 2 homes and stuff, so I had everything working well until that happened, and it kind of crashed everything. You know what I'm saying? So,
I
you
mean,
know, with my
you lightly sprinkled in that you owned a Verizon store and are an entrepreneur with a clothes.
T-Mobile.
I'm sorry, T-Mobile. T-Mobile. I apologize. What got you into entrepreneurship? Had that always been self-led, or did you work?
It was always definitely, yeah. So that's in the works right now.
Okay, I was sweating a little bit. I know a guy who would really want to hear about that.
Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Okay. I was like, where was I? Okay, very good. Cool. So you want to promote doing the show thing? Awesome. When can people catch you live if they'd like to see your live?
They can catch me live every day from I'm either on from 9:30 or 10 a.m. in the morning to about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, or you can catch my night sessions from like 9:30 p.m. to 1 in the morning.
And is that Eastern Standard Time?
Eastern Standard Time.
Bang.
I also want to mention something else, guys, ladies and gentlemen. I'm also doing like a model royale. It's a battle that's gonna go on from December 12th to the 15th. It's a one and done battle, but it's a friendly battle. So I don't want anyone it's just all of my models who's been with me, my first group of models. I know I got so many more who just joined in, and next time when I do one, you guys will be included in it. But I wanted to throw it together because, like I mentioned earlier, there's so many people that's in my family that, who wasn't streaming, and I convinced them to stream because I know it built my confidence, and I felt like it would definitely build theirs and stuff. So a lot of those people are now streaming just because of this model royale, which I'm very excited for. But it's my way to give back to them. You know what I'm saying? For supporting me. Even if you was just writing in the comments or hitting those hearts, that's my way of giving back, and and my way of just bringing the family closer together. You know what I'm saying? Because so many times, so many people could get left out. So I want to make sure we remember all the models. You know what I'm saying? Like Bree Baby, Skylight, Queen Me, Bunny.
When you say models, that's
Open
your
Doors,
app family.
Mala, Epsy, my best friend, Top Badge, Epsy, Bree, Baby, Queen, me. I definitely have to say that.
When you say models, that's your app family, right?
Yes, my role model family. So it's you would either see RMF in the name or just the M.
Got All right. Well, thank you so much, Role Model, for jumping on. There was so much we were able to pack into that conversation. I know there's so much more that we could still talk about. So people need to favorite you. If you've not favorited,
Definitely favor me. Definitely favor me, please.
favorite. She's a battle queen. She's an inspirational person. She's all around great conversationalist. She's a good person. Get that fave, all right? Cheers. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Chris Casper, I appreciate you for even having me on here. I thank you for this opportunity.
Pleasure's mine. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Take care.
Definitely. Role Model Fresh. There we go. Role Model Fresh, everybody. Thank you so much for having her on. All right. Special birthday shout out to Ebony from The Art of Words. If you know The Art of Words, it's a show that airs right before this one every Wednesday. It's her birthday today. It's her birthday, so if you see her live, make sure you go tell her happy birthday. She's been on the show before, but she's having a good time celebrating. She's doing her live thing, all that kind of good stuff. If you've made it this far and you were wondering what's going on, why is this guy not acknowledging the birthday cake or all of these wheels that are going by? It's because this is a weekly show that we do. Every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I interview 3 people, sometimes accidentally for the second time. And then other times it's for the first time, for the most part. If you want to be on the show, message me on my Instagram at Chris Casper, spelled exactly like how it is up here. We're really close to 4,000 followers, which is only 6,000 followers, which means we're not even halfway to the 10,000, but it's progress. Because I want the little swipey swipe, you know, little. I want to be like my boy Garrett James. You know how popular and cool Garrett James is, everybody? He's a very cool guy, okay? All right, everyone, thank you so much for stopping by the show. I will be telling you at the end of the show, by the way, I teased it on my Instagram. I asked what animals inspired this shoe. So if you're a sneakerhead, you probably already know. But if you're not and you want to know what animals inspired the shoe, make sure you stay around to the end of the show. But we have one more guest. And Lady Lark, if you could please request that box. This third guest is brand new to the app. I brought her here myself. We met in an interesting way, and I knew that she was made for live streaming. Ladies and gentlemen, our third guest of the evening, the newcomer, the up-and-comer, Miss Lady Lark. Miss Lady Lark. Miss Hey!
Hey, what's up?
She said, "What's up?" That's the coolest, most like nonchalant I've ever seen you be. But it's
I can be casual sometimes. You know, I say as I'm in a princess dress, but
yeah, definitely. Well, there's a reason for that. But Lady Lark, it's nice to have you on the show. Thank you so much for doing that.
thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Hi, guys.
Definitely. All right, so just to get it all started, you had never heard of live streaming prior to what, a week ago?
Okay, yes, I'd never heard of live streaming on this until about, I just counted, it was 9 days ago.
Wow.
And I had always thought about it, you know, like something like Twitch or YouTube or what have you, but you know, just never really had the motivation to get into it because it was, I just didn't know what I would do. I didn't know who my audience would be, like who would want to watch that. So here I am. I'm still figuring that part out, but I feel like I'm off to a good start.
Yeah, I mean, there's a way to get started, and sometimes it's matching with somebody and being like, hey, you know what? I think you should probably just do live streaming. So you're wearing a princess outfit. Can you help us? Where did this come from? Why do you own a princess outfit?
So there are 2 reasons. So one, I do cosplay. And it's just one of my hobbies. It's one of the things I love to do. I'm a theater person. I've always loved costumes. I've always loved playing a character. So this is kind of a version of Snow White's dress. It's more of a 1950s Dapper Day kind of version of her dress. The other reason is I, until recently, was a Disney cast member. And many years ago, one of the characters that I hung out with happened to be Snow White. So she has a very special place in my heart. Yes.
What is the official title for it? You're a Disney historian?
Well, that was one of my titles. Yes, I was one of the last people to ever get certified by the Walt Disney Company as a Disney historian, which means I am an expert in all things Disney trivia and Disney history. Granted, this was in 2016 and they got rid of the program, so I'm not super up to date, but I do my best to keep myself up to date. The other thing too is I was head of communications at the newest resort, which was Disney's Riviera Resort. Unfortunately, due to COVID, they had all these layoffs, and it was Friday night was my very last day with the company. So I got my cute little trophy here as part of my goodbye.
Okay.
And yeah, now I'm just seeing what the next chapter is. Somewhere else needs my magic right now, and right now it's here. So
Here you are. But that wasn't your first time being on a stage. In fact, you have quite a history being on a stage and being a performer. Most notably, you have represented some cities in a very special way. What am I talking about?
I have. So I am actually Miss Orlando 2020. I have a lot of props here. I'm Miss Orlando 2020. And I represent Orlando in the Miss America organization. So yes, coming in June 2021, it was supposed to be August 2020, but because of COVID, they had to delay it. But coming in June 2021, I will be representing Orlando at the Miss Florida pageant. I'm actually one of the front runners. So fingers crossed, one of my goals is to like actually live stream the process of like actually competing for the title of Miss Florida, because I feel like there's still, even in 2020 and almost 2021, there are a lot of misconceptions about like what pageantry really is. And I understand, like I certainly come from that place. You know, my mom was Miss Kentucky and my godmother was Miss America. So I come from like a long, I know, casual, but no, I come from a,
you know,
exactly, you know, whatever. But I come from a long line of people who competed in pageants, and I grew up, I was like super tomboy. I worked out on a farm, like didn't really want to do the whole, you know, dressing up in glittery gowns and wearing a crown sort of thing. Like it just never seemed like me. But you know, I ended up, it was my freshman year of college. I was a musical theater major, and I thought that was what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. And then my director sat me down and he's like, the reason that you're not doing as well as you wanted to is because you're, I mean, in a way it was like a compliment, but also not. He's like, you're too good at too many things and we don't think you're going to stick with it. So we don't want to invest the time and the effort into you if you're just going to end up dropping it. And so I was devastated. I was depressed. I felt like I'd been lied to. I didn't know what was coming next. And so my mom came to come visit me to just like cheer me up and everything. And I went to Indiana University, and Miss Indiana University was happening the day that she was coming. So I was like, okay, well, she liked this whole pageant thing. Like, let me take her to one. And I, by the end, was just like, I'm a dramatic person. So I was like sobbing. Like my makeup was running. I was just like, I have to try this. Like the girl who won was like, still to this day, probably the most beautiful and elegant and intelligent, talented person I'd ever seen in my life. And she was just a human being. And I was like, oh my gosh, like that's something attainable for me. So the very next day I went and I bought my first gown that I still have to this day. And I started competing right after that. So I have been competing for 6 years now. I've had 4 different titles, both in Indiana and Florida. And we'll see what comes next.
What are those titles that you've earned?
So my very first one was a county fair title. It was Miss Three Rivers Festival up in Indiana. The year after that, it was Miss South Central Indiana, so getting a little bit bigger in terms of my reach. Then when I moved back to Florida, it was Miss Jacksonville, you know, the largest city in the continental United States. And then finally, I was Miss Orlando, which is probably one of the biggest titles you can have in the state of Florida, one of the most prestigious ones. So yeah.
How does a pageant queen get ready for something like Miss Florida? What's really going on behind the scenes?
Right. Well, you know, after Miss Florida ended last year and I got top 15, which was great, but not quite what I wanted. You know, I'm a competitive person. I always want to go in. I always want to win. Mm-hmm. And I didn't do quite as well as I had planned or wanted to, or felt like I should have, deserved to. But I decided, okay, well, you know what? There are a bunch of pageants coming up, but I'm not even going to try them. What I want to be Miss Orlando. So I spent 6 months from the day after Miss Florida ended to the morning of the Miss Orlando pageant, just preparing. I worked on my image. I worked both like physical and how I present myself in interviews and everything. I worked on my talent. I completely revamped everything I was doing in terms of my talent to be a performer. completely reworked what I was doing for my community service and started my master's degree. So I had all this stuff that was going for me that I was a completely different person walking into Miss Orlando. And because of that, I was like so calm, so collected. Like I was like, it should be me today, but if it's not, then I know that I've done everything I possibly can.
There you go.
And because I was so like chill and calm and collected, nobody thought I was walking out of there with the title that day. Literally nobody, not even me really. I didn't expect to, I just wanted to. And there were so many other girls that were at Miss Orlando that, you know, should have, if you go by pageant politics, probably won over me. But I ended up taking the top title that day because of just all the preparation I had put into it. I took it so seriously, it became like another full-time job for me.
That's awesome. You slipped in casually that you're going for your master's now. What are you studying?
Yes. So I'm studying mass communications with specializations in public relations and digital/social media. I actually have 4 degrees. So this will be degree number 5, technically. I do a lot, you know. My director in undergrad was not wrong that I was too interested and too good at too many things that I was really going to stick with one thing. So
what are the other 4 degrees?
So the other 4 degrees are in theater, journalism, history, and secondary education.
No, you know, I mean, I feel like you're one of the people at the party that someone could say, you know, I really think it'd be cool to try this thing. You're like, oh, I actually have a degree in expert. I'm an expert in that particular thing. What would you like to know?
See, you joke about that, but I've definitely been that person at the party sometimes.
Talent. Pageantry,
Yes.
talent is something that you have to show off. It's
Yeah.
something you've done during your cosplays. You're a singer. And
I am.
You have a specialization in the type of singing you do, correct?
I do. I am an opera singer. I've been an opera singer since I was 11 years old. And I love it. You know, not many 24-year-olds can say like, yes, I want to do opera. Or not even many 11-year-olds can say, I want to do opera. And I can definitely say I was not one of those 11-year-olds. Like, I didn't want to do it at all. But I remember, you know, it was my 6th grade production of Beauty and the Beast. I was convinced I was going to be Belle, and I wasn't. I was an enchanted cheese grater.
That's a pretty cool role, okay?
No, in retrospect, it was a really cool role, but at the time I was devastated. And so my mom was like, okay, well, you're saying you want to get better. You're saying this is what you want to do. Let's take you to voice lessons. And I was like, okay, well, I want to be like a country singer. I want to be like a rock pop star, like, you know, that kind of thing. And my voice teacher was like, no. If you want to perform, this is what you need to learn. So she started me off with classical music. And every day I was like, oh, I hate this. But then there was one day that my mom put Phantom of the Opera on my iPod. And I was like, opera? Like, why am I going to listen to this? I already don't like it. And I listened to it. And it was that convergence of musical theater and opera that I was like, yep, this is what I want to do. So that completely changed my life. And now I'm an opera singer and I love it.
All right. I think this is a great time to interject in the conversation. I mean, can you riff a little? Can you give us a song?
I can.
All right.
I can. So I have a little something prepared, but I'll just do like a quick little riff. So it's.
That's a cool party trick. Just like, you know, maybe the food tastes really good and you do that. And that,
Yeah.
I would know that the food was great.
Pop up super high. Exactly. It stops everybody in their tracks, which is what I enjoy to do. So.
What is that used for, I guess? Is that typical of opera to riff like that? Is it normally tailored or constructed differently? Help me understand. I'm ignorant when it comes to opera.
Yeah, so basically what it is, it's called a cadenza, and in a lot of arias, which are usually sung by, you know, the female soprano or ingenue, it's this riff that they do basically to show off how much range they actually have. So that was a very famous riff from Phantom of the Opera, from one of the first songs in the show called Think of Me, which is actually one of the very first musical theater songs I learned how to properly sing. So it has a very special place in my heart.
Very cool. Basically, you said it's a way to flex. This is the flex thing.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Pretty much.
It's called flexing, but it has these really fancy names that I don't know what you just said.
Exactly. It's all very Italian. It's a good time.
So you said it was 9 days ago. We jumped
Yes.
on Zoom and I said, hey, I know you haven't done live streaming, but I really think this is something you should consider doing. What have you thought of it since our Zoom call?
You know, it's been a little overwhelming in mostly good ways. A few ways where it's been overwhelming just because I don't know what to do or not so much not what to do, but I don't know what's going on. I don't know. And every app is different. You know, every streaming service is different. So what I know I watch a lot of streamers on like Twitch and other platforms and everything. So I'm very familiar with that, but I'm not familiar with how this has worked. So I've basically just kind of been winging it the entire time and trying to figure out like exactly like, you know, what's my style, what's my niche, like, you know, kind of thinking it as I would think of one of my classes at school, like what is my niche and what am I going to do? How am I going to attract more people to this brand that I'm trying to build, which, you know, 9 days, you're not going to build much of a brand yet, but I'm trying. And, yeah, it's been interesting. Again, just getting used to everything, but I have had so many people, even in just the short time that I've actually been on the app, that have been so supportive and so sweet and kind and just giving me all sorts of advice. And even if they don't really have advice, just giving me so much support and saying like, you're doing great. Like we enjoy watching you. We enjoy coming, to what you have to offer every single time. So that's been very rewarding. And I'm so blessed that I've been able to find that group of people so quickly. For me, like that's just what's been blowing my mind the most is that I just found them so naturally and organically in just such a short amount of time. Has been probably the most mind-blowing part of everything. But it's been very rewarding in the few days, especially since, you know, I've been going through the hard time of I lost my dream job at Disney. That was always what I wanted to do. And I don't have that anymore, but it's also opened my eyes that I have the wonderful opportunity to try something completely different and new that I've always wanted to try and never knew how to. So yeah. Here I am.
And here you are. There's so much that we can pack in. I feel like I'm throwing out a curveball, in fact, every 2 seconds here. But I'd like to close our conversation with 2 things that people may not expect with you. I'm going to name them. I was shocked when I found out. The first one is that you're an anime lover.
I am. Oh my gosh.
So how long have you been into anime, and can you give us your favorite?
Okay, so I will say I've been on and off into anime for the longest time. Like, you know, when Attack on Titan started happening when I was like a senior in high school, freshman in college, like I was so into that. I started learning Japanese so I could understand it without like the subtitles and everything. I was so into it, and I just started experimenting with other things that I really enjoyed. And again, I've been kind of off and on because I'm a very nerdy person. I'm very into nerd culture, so I hop around with a lot of my interests. But the thing that got me so into anime was My Hero Academia, which I know is like super mainstream now, but I was so obsessed with it when I found it. And actually, I think in my very first stream that I ever did, I was wearing a My Hero Academia like Deku shirt. And, you know, I'm absolutely obsessed with it. I do all the fan art. I'm actually working on a Bakugo cosplay right now and a Villain Deku cosplay. So I'm super into those, and I'm also working on a couple of other cosplays from other animes. And honestly, if anybody ever has any suggestions of stuff I should try, please let me know, because I want to know it all.
All right, the second one, we're packing it in here. Is that you are a Renaissance fair enthusiast, and that
I am.
I
was going to say
recently.
Yeah, I went to a Renaissance fair actually last Sunday. I went to one right near where my parents live, and I actually cosplayed for that one as well. It was an original character. I was a dark fae, where I make a lot of my own stuff. So I made my own I have a lot of props. I made my own flower crowns. I made my own dark fairy wings, which I have right here, and I made my own fairy wand that I have right here. I make my own wands as well. For all of my fairy things. And the next one that I'm going to be basing it off of is completely different, a winter fairy or a light fairy. And I'm going to be basing it off of this pretty little iridescent rose here. So I'm going to be trying to come up with some of the ideas for that on my stream as well.
I've never felt like I just don't do things in my life. Like, I feel normally it's like we end these conversations and it's like, oh yeah, they do some cool things. Like we can all relate. But now I just feel like, well, everybody, I'm packing the show up. Okay.
Well, here's the thing is because I do I've always called myself a Renaissance woman, and because I do a little bit of everything, I feel like there's a little piece of me that everybody can take something away from and be like, okay, like I do that too. So that's something I can relate to her with. And that's why I love pageants, because I am one of those people that does a little bit of everything. So I try to be a relatable person, and I feel like there's always something that somebody can take away from me. So.
All right.
In a good way.
You have not favorited Lady Lark, and at the very least, you want to just tell her, go get some sleep. Make sure that you give her a favorite so that you can, make sure she's doing that kind of thing. When do you go live? If people want to, or if people would like to connect with you, when can they catch you?
Right. Well, I'm still figuring out like an actual schedule, but most recently I've been going live in the mornings around 11 o'clock for about an hour or two. And then I will go live around 5 to 7 in the evening and just go until I basically can't keep my eyes open anymore. So if you want to join me, I'm here all the time now. So I'm glad to be here.
All right. There you have it, everyone. Lady Lark, thank you so much for being on the show. I didn't even ask you the question, is there anything interesting or that you'd like to name? Because I feel like if you tell us one more thing, the universe will collapse because it's not possible.
Everyone will just leave. Not so much more interesting things to share, but just thank you so much for joining, guys. And if it's your first time seeing me, your last time seeing me, or one of many times that you're going to see me, I appreciate you so much for being here, and I hope to see you again soon.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you so much, Lady Lark. It's been great talking with you. Everyone, make sure you drop her a favorite. And
thank you, guys.
We will see you next time.
See you next time. Thank you.
Cheers. Cheers. Yeah. All right, everyone. It was on a swipey platform that all dominoed from. How funny, right? I was like, you know what? We're just gonna chalk this up, guys. We're putting her on the live streams. All right, everyone. If I teased it a couple of times, I said if you saw my story, I have some shoes here. I want you to guess. What animal in the comments. If you know what animal these shoes are based off of, let me know. But it was a trick question because these shoes are